I have a complaint.
What's
I'm
the
responding
complaint?
to a
What's the complaint?
It's available for you.
What is the
We're going in
complaint?
circles.
He's entitled to know what it is.
What's the complaint?
But we've already explained this.
No, I don't know what the complaint is. I don't know why you knocked on my door.
You're parked here. You're unwelcome here.
Unwelcome?
Correct.
Wow. That worship is so corrupt.
So how did it go in court today?
Oh man, just blown away by, essentially by the worship. You know, Erbes is Erbes. We all know how he's gonna act, right? But the worship, this judicial justice, he literally is tag teaming me with Erbes. Do we not say?
Absolutely.
He wouldn't let me proceed with, and he knows the evidence is coming. They're all talking about this off scene.
Yeah.
They're like, he's got this evidence against me. He knows there's a CRCC complaint. They know the police are investigating him for serving me documents. He would not let me talk about any of those documents.
Correct.
And I did get one document into the record though, the cease and desist, but they wouldn't let me talk about it.
Right.
And then I get in the Motor Vehicle Act regulation. This is exactly what you do in traffic court. It's always about the Motor Vehicle Acts. And this is what he's giving me tickets for, so he needs to prove that I was the driver. And he won't even let me go on exactly what the case is. Oh man, that worship Burgess is so freaking corrupt. That guy needs to be fired.
He's corrupt.
Okay, so I don't have the official transcripts yet, but from my memory and everybody taking notes in the courtroom, this is what transpired, or the gist of it. The worship is, it's like he's colluding with Constable Conrad Erbes to protect him. The worship is protecting Conrad Erbes. He is preventing Conrad Erbes from answering the questions. When I'm doing my cross-examination, it's not even with Erbes. It's with this worship in this Kangaroo court. So a worship is a judicial justice. So not a real judge whatsoever. Typically somebody who is like semi-retired. They should have a law degree, you know, maybe kind of like a lawyer that's retired or a failed lawyer that's retired. And he does this, you know, at a couple days a week. So this is, and these guys they all know each other. They deal with each other on a weekly basis. And it really appears that he is colluding. He's conspiring against me with Erbes. And here's the notes that we've compiled, that what happened in court with the Motor Vehicle Acts and how the worship is preventing me from asking Erbes the important questions that are completely relevant to the ticket, because he gave me a ticket for failure to produce driver's license and another one for failure to state name and address. And to ask me for my ID, well, he needs to have reasonable articulable suspicion or probable cause that I committed a crime. And if he doesn't have that, I need to be in the motor vehicle, literally in the driver's seat of the motor vehicle for any police RCMP to ask you for identification. So let's get to this Kangaroo court, guys. So Constable Erbes, how many Motor Vehicle Act tickets or violations have you given in the last, 8 years as RCMP?
Maybe 250.
To your knowledge, does a camper require ICBC liability insurance? How is that relevant? I'm pertaining to the fact of whether he knows what a camper is, Your Worship. You're here for a ticket that says failed to state name and address. You're not here whether there was insurance on the camper. I'm pertaining to whether he knows what a camper is, Your Worship. Then ask him. Erbes, what is the Motor Vehicle Act interpretation of camper? It's not relevant. It is relevant, Your Worship. He testified that I was not in the cab of the vehicle, but he also says that I'm in the vehicle. He made it very clear that you weren't in the cab of the vehicle, but in camper. No, he said I was in the vehicle. He does not say that. Constable Erbes, was I in the vehicle?
You were in the vehicle.
He just said that, Your Worship, as I say to him. Like, oh my God, point made. Then the worship shuts up for a moment, and I continue my cross. Erbes, what is the Motor Vehicle Act definition of camper? Okay, Mr. Irnie, stop going down these dead ends. It's irrelevant. It is very relevant. It's not relevant. You were in the camper, not in the cab of the pickup truck. I want to establish that. He is the one that is fighting this. He is the one that says I wasn't in the cab of the vehicle, but I was in the vehicle. He gave me a ticket for failure to produce driver's license. It may mean one thing to him and another thing to you. The Motor Vehicle Act is not whatever Erbes wants to interpret it as so he can harass citizens. It is a document. It is fact that you and I and everyone is supposed to follow. Sir, you're wasting your time. You're wasting my time. This is my 5th time I've been to court. Trust me, my time has been wasted. I am the only person not being paid here. Please let me continue so I can establish. It doesn't matter. He gave me 2 tickets for failure to produce ID. What right does he have to ask for my identification if I wasn't in the motor vehicle? Kangaroo court with this Justice Worship Burgess. He should be ashamed of himself just as much as Erbes now. What a shit show.
He's corrupt, and Erbes has been well trained on what to say, how to answer questions. He's a professional asshole.
So you have a 10-minute timer.
What's your name?
My name.
What's your badge number?
To you when you provide me
What's
your
your
ID
name
on
and
the
badge
sidewalk.
number?
My name's available to you out here.
What's your name and badge number?
Did you not hear what I just said to you?
I said, I'm asking you the question.
Okay, that's
What's your
fine.
name and badge number, please?
Okay, you failed to comply with me, so I'm failing to comply with you until you meet me out here.
You got to plan what you want to do, and then they screw up your plan. Then you got to rethink, okay, how am I going to move forward, right?
I couldn't even use my setup because I had to just jump at things now because, you know, everything is out of order, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, that's the whole point, is when you're emotionally attached to it too. You know, and the judge is just the judge has worship, is just riling me up.
Yeah.
But he won't even let me speak. Oh man, I just wanted to just...
How many times did he say, Mr. Irnie, move along?
Oh man.
How many? 30?
40, 50?
Yeah. Move along.
Jesus. So anyways, the funny thing is like, I'm always wondering if, like, you know, provincial court judges, you're in contempt. That's what they do in provincial court, right?
They can't do that.
But this guy, he actually has no authority to even stop the trial. Let's see. He would have stopped it if he could have.
The only thing he can do is walk out after he warns you. He can't hold you in contempt. He can only walk out and say, I'm not hearing this, and hope you're going to leave, and then he can carry on.
Yeah, that's because I didn't know any of this. I wasn't sure how, you know, what he can do to try to end this, but clearly all he can do is just, you're not talking about this, you're not talking about this, you're not talking about this, move on, move on, move on. But I mean, it just shows you this little circle jerk they got going on is just full on. This will make a good movie one day.
Yeah.
I'll have to like get the transcripts and make a whole, you know how they do like a courtroom movie like in the police office. That's maybe what I'll do one day. But anyway, so yeah,
You're very good at editing videos.
it's like, let's just play this one section. Okay, so what can I do for you?
Okay, do you have your ID is what I've asked you for.
I don't need to give you ID.
Okay, then I'll be towing your car. So,
I'll talk to you through the window. You threatened to tow me. You threatened to tow me if I didn't get out. And you're caught in a lie. So every single time I caught him in a few lies, which is way less than I wanted to because he had so many lies, I still catch him in a lie. I mean, it was obvious, right? Yeah. And he doesn't say, oh, this guy has no credibility. You know, Erbes, you're done. Dismissing his tickets. No, he doesn't do it at all. No. That's what any normal judge or worship would have done. I've been in traffic court before. Like, you bring up the Motor Vehicle Act, he lied about this, he has no credibility, his bias, it's thrown out. But none of this is being thrown out. And
no, because this is political now.
Yeah, and
you're unwelcome.
Did you like how I brought the Kelowna Security Operations Center detail in there?
Yeah.
So I got that on the record as well as a document, which shows total prejudice, calling me a protester, blah, blah, blah. So in the detailed security report written by Commissioner S. Rath, the redacted witness and complainant of Erbes' entire reasoning for his tickets and trying to arrest me, it says suspicious activity, person, protester taken abode. So this also outlines that Erbes told the commissioner that I am belligerent before he even ran the license plate, which essentially proves that Erbes knew who I was. He's watched my YouTube videos from at least that day during the Freedom Convoy, the biggest rally Kelowna's ever seen. And so the S. Rath's report right here states, at 1956 hours, so 7:56 p.m., RCMP arrived to Stewart Park. Kelowna Security Operations Center was informed. Security met with the officer and explained that there was a concern the person in the RV was going to take abode for the night. And due to the fact that the RV was a known protester, security wanted assistance relaying to the individual that he could not camp out front of City Hall overnight. So all S. Rath
his mistake was monitoring me in the first place, being told to monitor me. But he simply wanted to say, hey, just let you know you can't camp here overnight.
You guys think this is pretty stupid too, I hope, right? This is, you know, hey guys over there, I'm a human, you know, this is not appropriate, you know, like this is nuts, this Erb guy.
Hey, all I wanted is somebody to tell you can't camp here overnight.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Even though he was so stupid for monitoring me in the first place, and the commissioners have no jurisdiction on the street or the parking or vehicles on the street whatsoever. So keep that in mind. The Kelowna Security Operations Center have their own political interests and are doing things outside of their jurisdiction already.
So why didn't you just come over here earlier? Why is he even here?
What's that?
Why is he here, I guess, is my question.
Because you're parked on the street, right? It's not my jurisdiction on the street.
They actually relayed the wrong license plate, and Erbes testified to it. So he didn't have my license plate before he arrived on scene. And when he first arrived on scene, he met with S. Rath, and then he tells S. Rath, RCMP informed security that the subject had a propensity to be verbally aggressive and belligerent with city staff, including bylaw, fire department, and the RCMP. The RCMP member walked over with the security and he began his investigation. He began with taking photos of the vehicle. So the chain of events in the detailed security report, which Erbes never actually brought to court, but he cited in his synopsis and his file for attending the scene, actually contradicts everything that Erbes was doing. He knew who I was. In fact, I released a video the day before, Bylaw and Police, the Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And I released it on the 28th of January, and it had, 100,000 views. And that's what he's talking about. It features fire. It features all my meetings with Bylaw. Many shithawks I met with who were harassing me, trying to get my ID when all I had was my RV parked on the road, and some neighbor calls it in saying, oh, this guy looks like he's selling drugs out of his RV.
Complaint was there's a suspicious vehicle?
That was one incident. And the other one is, oh, he's been camping here for 2 days in front of Knox Mountain, in front of my house.
So what's your address here in town?
And it's none of your business.
But why are you doing here though? I mean, you want to be here playing on your computer, but where do you live? And why are you not at home?
You never go hike Knox? You never leave your house?
Yeah, but I usually go home. I don't sit out here and camp.
I'm not camping.
So what are you doing?
I'm parked here in the daytime. Why are you hassling me?
Because I have a report that you're camping out here. This is your second night in a row.
Well, that's not true.
Okay. You're not willing to give me any details, so you'll have to give the RCMP when they get here.
You think all these people don't just come out here for enjoyment? It's called Knox Mountain.
Said here from noon on.
What do you mean a lot of people are here from noon on? You can go for a big hike? You never heard of getting exercise? This is what you get to deal with. These neighbors actually, these Karens actually will call when you park in front of their house with an RV and you level out the RV and then this shithawk Bylaw shows up and it's like, what are you doing camping here for 2 days? And I'm like, I'm not. I've been here since noon. And he's like, well, why are you still here at 6 p.m.? Because I'm at the beach. I'm at Knox Mountain. This is what people do. See the idiocy with these guys?
Here's the definition of idiocy. Extremely stupid behavior.
Oh man, there was so much good on it. I know you asked me and helped to get my questions down, and I had a lot of yes or no's, but they really threw me out of rhythm. A lot of those questions were like, is this correct? Is this yes or no? But I wasn't able to kind of pounce on them like I normally wanted to.
Yeah, the amount of money and time they're going to waste going through this is unbelievable for some petty tickets.
Oh, we're at $50,000 now.
Yeah,
now 6 court appearances, several officers for this. There's several, and the worship game. Did you like how I'm the only person not getting paid here? It's wasting my time.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Anyways, any other questions?
No.
Well,
That's good. It was another fun day in this hellhole of a building here that we've all been in many times.
they would just love for me to do a Jordan application or charter application. That's what they want. They want this just to disappear.
Yeah.
If I did a charter application, it'll be stayed. If I do a Jordan application, it'll be stayed.
Exactly.
But now I'm trying to get Erbes to explain what happened and show the evidence, and he just...
They won't. They won't.
Well, I got some of it out. The detailed security report, blah, blah, blah. I got, you know, and for, you know, I was almost going to call Sergeant Failure. You should come down and watch this because he's the one doing the investigation. But last time I asked him, he's like, I'm busy. You know,
Yeah,
he'll just,
they won't.
but he got the transcripts from the previous ones, right?
Yeah.
So Erbes knows that these transcripts are going to be used against him.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, at the Kelowna Courthouse, what a freaking shit show in there. Clown court. And August 28th, and the next court date will be who knows when. What do you guys think? Have a good one. Cheers. What is your name, sir? You're going to be on YouTube if you keep this
That's
up.
fine. I like YouTube.
All right, why don't you
I've got
show me
more-
your face and be
I've
human?
got more fans than you do.